talk to some person, they're like, dude, I wish I was 130 pounds. You know what I mean? It's amazing how, even as comfortable as you are, you still want to almost be something you're not. And it's a whole image thing. It's like you're not happy, you're not happy. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever been with your parents or anybody, or if you guys have ever been car shopping, but let me show you how the gimmick is in anything you buy. Cars are just the easy way to do it. Who's ever been with someone who's bought a car? Okay. Now, how many of you are willing to admit a couple of days later that car didn't look as nice as it did when you saw it at the dealership? Can I tell you why? It's because of the options. We are all ADD. I'm just saying. Some of us are in denial. Some of us, we've been told that. Can I get an amen for the ADD people in the room? Okay. Some of you are like, you said before because your ADD kicked in. I didn't even finish the sentence. You're ADD! It's funny because it's true. But when you get in the parking lot, you got all these cars and you got all these options. And that's why it looks attractive. And you see this one car, but then when you pull it off to the side into your house, you're like, oh. You're almost able to drive back to the dealership and park and go, oh yeah, that looks better. But even when you go to a store, if it's closed, oh my gosh. Do you ever go to a donut shop, Krispy Kreme or anybody? I mean, you walk in and you're like, oh. I mean, when the hot sign is on, I'm telling you, heaven is parted. I mean, heaven is shining down South Slappy at Krispy Kreme. I mean, I'm just saying, praise God, I'm thinking about it right now. I'm going to smell it. Oh, Jesus, help me. So we got all that. The next pressure is a win pressure. Sometimes some of us are so competitive, not just in a sport, but it's like you have to succeed in life. And the thing is you don't always win. Okay, here's a big problem I have in my life. I've had to tone down competitiveness. Here's how it went. Bree and I, when we were dating, I was playing tournament racquetball, huge competitive into it. We were up in Atlanta, I was at a big tournament. And when I do something competitive that I'm good at, I don't know why, I think I should be the best person ever. Even if I know I'm not, in my head, I think I should accomplish things that maybe I shouldn't be able to accomplish. But I put a whole different standard. So I'm at this racquetball match, man, and I mean, it's a statewide tournament. I won a couple of matches and all, and I start losing, and I lose it. But my thing is if I'm playing you in a competitive sport, my attitude is never directed at you. It's a little psychotic because it's all directed at me. But I start talking to myself. Does anybody ever talk with themselves? Okay, have you ever done this? Because I'm fixing to engagement and I am cussing myself out and on this record. It even gets so awkward, I'm realizing that the guy is kind of like giving these looks like, y'all might want to call somebody. Because he need help. He need Jesus. I mean, I'm sure. I was, boy, I was letting myself have it. And still today, I have that tendency, as much as I'm having to get to the point where I'm having to relax. I started playing tennis, same thing, I get mad. Oh my gosh, I wish I had saved them, I throw them away. I have a small collection of broken rackets. I don't know what it is about throwing something expensive, but it makes you feel so much better temporarily. How many of you chunked your phone? Don't you feel better? Until you pick it up, the screen's cracked. And then you throw it again because you were mad about the first time. Have you ever done that? Admit that. Come on, crazy people. All right, there we go. Dang it! Boom! Then you're like, how'd that happen? But it's a win-win thing. One of the next things is future pressure. Future. You're worried about things that's happened, and sometimes you can't control things, so you're like, oh my gosh, you start stressing and getting all these things, and I'm trying to move them quickly. Obviously, drinking and smoking is something too. Nobody sits around, picks up something that they know consciously is going to give them an amazing chance of cancer. It's going to make their teeth fall out. It's going to make their fingers stain. It's going to make their lungs look like raisins. You're going to drink something that doesn't taste good. I'm just saying, nobody has ever, I'm telling you, listen. If any of you guys have any family members who are honest and are drinkers, ask them, did you ever like the first drink you had? They'll tell you no. Nobody ever picks up an alcoholic drink and is like, dang, best thing ever. No, usually it's, you're going to take it down because you don't want to look like that person. Has anybody ever heard anybody ever say that beer tastes like pee? Everybody's heard it? All right. Here's what happens. You were in front of people for the very first time and had a beer. You knew that. And you're like pee. But you can't let anybody know that because you look like a dork. You do, you just look like that. It's a lot of those times, it's made by choice. Listen, I used to be a smoker, and I even drank something, and I can tell you the reason why wasn't, hey, I want to smoke because I'm going to feel better today. No, it had to do with the pressure. And I never really had anybody. You do, you just look like that. It's a lot of those times, it's made by choice. Listen, I used to be a smoker, and I even drank something, and I can tell you the reason why wasn't, hey, I want to smoke because I'm going to feel better today. No, it had to do with the pressure. And I never really had anybody say, TC, we're going to make fun of you and call you a dork and lump for the rest of your life you don't smoke. No. I was just around people who did. And, you know, it was one of them where I felt like, well, if I want to fit in and be social, then I have to. And for me, I thank God I never got super addicted to it. What stopped me was a phone call. My mom's like, hey, we're taking your dad to the hospital. Can you meet us here? My dad doesn't go to the hospital. We never did or nothing like that. So I'm like, okay, if him go to the hospital, something's bad. So I leave, head to the hospital. My mom doesn't know what's going on. He said, your dad's having chest pains. It's like an hour or so of testing. Nothing. Nothing shows up on any results. No EKGs, no blood work, nothing. So they're like, maybe he's just having some kind of internal cramp or something. We're going to let him go home a little while. I'm out in the waiting room. If you've ever been to the chest pain center, and Phoebe, the ER, you can just barely see through the little slat doors. My dad was in the first room. By the time, it was funny, me and my mom sitting there talking to my dad, and I just had this feeling, and you know what's amazing when you recognize this later? I just had this feeling like, I need to leave the room. And I don't know why. I wasn't afraid. So I told my dad, I was like, hey Dad, I'm just going to hang out. I'll be outside in a minute. So I walk out, then my mom comes out. I didn't know this till later. My mom had the exact same feeling. Mom walks out of the room. By the time that door shuts, we heard these noises and we could see people through the windows flying into my dad's room and pushing cars. And we're like, we just walked out of the room. And of course they wouldn't let us in. And we're standing there for like 5 minutes going like, God, what's happening to my dad? Like, what is going on? Doctor comes walking out, and I hate that they have that look on their face. It's just, you cannot read body language. And we're like, just thumbs up, thumbs down. Either one, bro. I don't care. You know? And the doctor looks at us and he said, we just want to let you know that Mr. Cooley had a severe heart attack. And we're like, and he's like, and he's okay now, but we lost him for about 2 minutes. Dude, I don't know what happened to me. I feel like I just got numb all over. Like I instantly lost my dad for 2 minutes and didn't know it. Long story short, come to find out, doctor tagged everything to my dad's years of smoking. Now I'm a single child, so that's just I'm it, and that's me, my dad, and my mom. Super close. That day, I threw cigarettes in the trash can and never touched them again. Reason why, I wasn't afraid of dying. I know what I felt in that waiting room. I know what I saw on my mother's face. And I told myself, I'm never doing that to my kids. I almost had anger from my dad. Like, I'm not putting my wife, I am not putting my kids through that. And it all started due to a pressure thing. And then last but not least is social media. A lot of the things that we put up there is due to pressure because this is what people do. This is what we are. You got to appear this way. You got to do that stuff. But I'm here to tell you for this, guys, you are more than that. You are made for way more than this. Let me read you a few scriptures, and I'm going to close it down with this. And this is in Romans chapter 8, verse 7. And here's where this is describing like, if you are made for more. And not a made for more like making TC famous is, I'm made for more to do something for God, to spread this gospel. Like, a lot of people look back and they think of their past as it's so shameful, it's disgusting, it haunts me every day. And I don't want to say that I don't ever think those tendencies, but I thank God for my past. Because I take my past and say, God, how can I turn around to either young adults or anybody else and say, man, this is what I did. And God brought me through it. We got people in this church everywhere that can say stuff like that. And I know, I'm not an idiot. I know there are you in this room who are living life completely opposite the way Christ would have you, but I'm telling you right now, you can turn it at the drop of a hat. And you're going to mess up again. Look, don't ever get into the rut of, oh dear God, I'm sorry I did this. I promise you, God, I'll never do it again. Because as soon as you say, I'll never do it again, guess what you just did? You just jump-started the next time it's going to happen again. You shouldn't make those kind of promises. God's not looking for your perfection. He just wants your heart. I mean, like I said a couple of weeks ago, all the guys, all the 12 disciples that Jesus chose were all jacked up. They were all not right with God. And He chose them right there to do great and mighty things. Were the disciples, oh, what was it? Well, they were all messed up and everything, but when Jesus took them out of disciple, then they were all holy and things were good. No, they were messing up the entire time they were serving Jesus, and yet they were still serving Jesus. You me tell you what our world needs? They need to know that they're made for more. This is what we need. This is what our churches need. I love game nights and I love those things, and I'm believing I've got some stuff planned in a couple weeks. We're going to do that. But I want to get this message out about you. Every single one of us in this room is made for more. You can change the shape of your church. You can change the shape of your school. You can change the shape of your house. And you may think, oh, I can't. Yeah, you can. We're a group. It's a team effort. I love you guys. I do. I love you guys close up to my kids. I mean, it is awesome. I mean, you may not think, well, you don't really. I do. I'm telling you, I do. I may not always show it. I may always be that outward, but I mean, that could be just my personality, but I do. I pray for you guys. And a lot of times I try my best to pray for you by name. Because I see God's got an amazing, some of you guys, I'm telling you, you're going to be in an opportunity where if your testimony, whether it's in front of a crowd or for an individual, is going to blow mine away. The things that you're going to say is going to surpass anything that I can say. You may be thinking, no, yeah, it will. Because you're made for more.